better. Hello, my name is Ryan Ellis, and you just heard me play through the Buzz Tone made by Jext Telez, the greatest fuzz pedal company on earth. Even among Jext Telez aficionados, this is not your ordinary buzz tone. It is the very rare, ultra rare, maybe 25 made, high gain buzz tone. I would love if someone would lend or even give me their buzz tone for me to hear the regular standard edition of the buzz tone. But this pedal rips and it roars, but at the same time, I don't know how they did it. They pulled it off, the amazing duo at Jext Telez. This has the most definition, note clarity of any fuzz pedal I've ever played through or heard. I made a video with this pedal over a year ago at this point called No Other Fuzz Can Do This. And what I was referring to was the fact that I played through it a song that I played multiple notes that usually in any other fuzz, overdrive, whatever you want to call it, that brings on a distorted sound, any other apparatus that I played through that causes breakup in the signal couldn't handle the multiple notes not nearly as well as the Jext Telez buzz tone can. This pedal is something special. And again, I would love to hear the standard edition. If this is the high gain edition and it handles the most delicate musical pieces so beautifully in a higher gain setting, I wonder what the lower gain setting would sound like. I'm so curious about that. I use this pedal on this particular day in the 3 volt setting, which is a sagged signal. You have 3, 6, and 9 volts because there's a 9 volt battery inside of this. In my case, a rechargeable 9 volt. I recommend you to get those because you can save money in the long run and seems to work just fine for years. In my case, for me, I love that the buzz tone can do 2 things at once that almost seem contradictory, and it does them in a lovely way in both cases. The buzz tone will take just an ordinary signal that you're running through it and really beef it up, really give it a lot of body and form that it didn't have before, really fills it out. But at the same time, I'm playing through the cheapest guitar in the world and a very nice bass guitar, like the best bass guitar in the world, but the cheapest guitar in the world and the best bass guitar in the world. What a combination, through the best fuzz in the world. What I love about the 3 volt is it can take my world's cheapest guitar, my Les Paul style guitar, which, as anyone who knows about guitars, a Les Paul is a bit unremarkable from one to the next in terms of you can't pick out the player. It's a very uniform sound from one guitar to the next compared to other guitars where you can really pick out the style of the player more readily. But with the buzz tone, when you sag that signal a little bit, when I have it here at 3 volts, it allows you to sort of chew on the notes a little bit. It allows you to express what's happening in the notes that you're playing a whole lot more and really dig into the groove and establish something far more expressive than you ever could get either without this pedal on or with other similar type pedals compared to it. Here's a question for all you folks watching at home. It's enough trouble for me to come up with a piece of music to play and then I suppose to film it and maybe have a thing or two to say about it, but it's even more trouble for me to come up with a name for a piece of music that I write. Outside, I suppose, of writing lyrics, which would easily lend themselves toward naming a song. How do all of you at home, if you're writing a song and maybe you haven't come up with lyrics lyrics, you just have the melody. How do you come up with names for songs? Please, I need help knowing what you do, because I've relied on the George Harrison White Album, Beatles, opened up a book and he found Gently Weeps, so he made While My Guitar Gently Weeps. That's what I've been doing here lately. This ditty I played today, I have 2 names for it. The first name is Hawkeye Cooper, which I get from The Last of the Mohicans. The main character's nickname was Hawkeye, and it was written by James Fenimore Cooper, so Hawkeye Cooper. And not to be satisfied with a solid enough name as that is already, I was looking through this. I have a first edition hardcover of the American Boys Handybook, which was written by the founder of the Boy Scouts, and this is actually the book the Boy Scouts guide is based upon. I was thumbing through this book just for further inspiration. They had a section here mentioning birds and hawks, and I laughed. They didn't have nice things to say back in the late 1800s and the 1880s about hawks, because you know what they called the hawk? A born freeloader. So, as a consequence, I couldn't let that phrase go. So the name of the ditty I played today for The Last of the Mohicans by James Fenimore Cooper is Hawkeye Cooper. That's the title, subtitled Born Freeloader. So if you guys have a cleverer, neater, better way that you use to come up with names for pieces of music that you write, please reach out to me and let me know a different approach I might take. In fact, a different approach I might take for recording music, for writing music, for anything I do. Leave your comments, your thoughts down or around wherever it's available for you to do so. Thank you very much. And thank you very much for sticking around with me through this and every other video that I make. My name is Ryan Ellis. Be the change you wish to see in the world and run for local elected office. And Christians, become your local Sunday school teacher. Do not just trust the process, become the process. I will pray for America. Please pray for me. Have a nice day. Au revoir. I got my kitty cat, kitty cat, kitty cat, kitty cat. I got my kitty cat, kitty cat, kitty cat. QE, kitty cat boy. My cat is something. Right, QE? You're something. You're the best cat, Cupid.